Hi, the Lord's Prayer number 4. We're continuing looking at the context of Matthew in regards to the Lord's Prayer. So if you're praying to be noticed, that will be your reward. You'll be noticed. That's all. But not by the right person, your Father. And you won't be answered either. But you will be acknowledged by men, which may give some people a thrill or a rush for a moment, but it has no value really to building a relationship with your Father. Some also prayed eloquent prayers in public and in the synagogue, but they weren't of any great effect, unless, of course, once again, being noticed was the motivation, in which case they worked perfectly for those people. I hope you're not one of those. So pray, but not to be noticed. That's the point. Go to the storeroom. That was the only private room in our house. When Jesus says the word closet, he's not talking about the modern broom closet. That's a bit awkward. He's talking about a storeroom, which actually may have been anything but a comfortable room at the house. The point was, get away, find space, and don't draw attention to your praying. That's obvious. Also, the Gentiles, the Greeks, they would add as many titles or names to their prayers as they possibly could, because they would hope that by so doing, they would attract the attention of the gods. And Jesus is saying, well, they're not going to be heard because of the repetition, so why bother all the titles, beside which their gods are dead or idols, so they can't hear and they can't do anything anyway. Jesus also states this, which has caused people some consternation over the centuries. He says that your Father already knows what you have need of before you pray. The reason he's saying that is not that you don't pray, but that you have confidence in the fact that you do pray. Look, I'm a dad. I'm a granddad now. I have 9 grandchildren. And I regularly would know what my children needed. I would know what their immediate future looked like. I don't these days, but when they were my children, they certainly fitted into that father-child paradigm. Well, much more than a paradigm, of course, a living reality. So I knew, but yet they would still ask. And there's something about the development of relationship that asking becomes an important part of. So I knew what they needed. God knows what we need, but it's important for us to ask, to articulate, and to actually get out what may be in our heart and to get rid of what may not be. Some prayers hit the ceiling and fall back down because they had no passion, no real need in them anyway. So in one instance, in this case, people heard them, and that was all. And the other, the gods don't hear them, so why bother?